She had been told stories all her life about what awaited women like her. Stories of mail-order brides who stepped off trains into the dusty heat of the frontier, only to find husbands who were harsh, cold, and sometimes cruel, men who treated women as property and little more. And as the train rattled into the small station with its wooden platform and scattering of waiting faces, her heart pounded with dread at the thought of what her future might hold, her fingers clutching the handle of her worn carpetbag so tightly that her knuckles turned white. And when the conductor called the stop, she forced herself to stand, stepping into the glaring sunlight with the weight of fear pressing down on her chest, bracing herself to meet a stranger she had promised to marry only through letters that had been few, stiff, and offered no clue to his true nature. And as her eyes searched the platform, her breath caught because, instead of the hard-jawed, grim man she expected, there was a tall cowboy with sun-browned skin, broad shoulders beneath a clean shirt, and eyes as steady and kind as the open sky. A man who lifted his hat politely and smiled like he truly saw her, not just a transaction. And as he stepped forward, he said in a voice deep but gentle, "You must be Miss Eleanor. I'm James Carter, your husband-to-be, and I want you to know right here, right now, I'll be kind." And in that moment, everything she thought she knew about her fate shifted, like the wind across the plains. Because there was no cruelty in his tone, only a quiet promise that reached the hollow ache of her heart. And though her throat tightened, she managed a small nod, her eyes stinging with unexpected tears as relief and disbelief collided inside her. And he noticed, of course he noticed, because he tipped his head and spoke again, softer this time. "I reckon you've been scared half to death thinking what kind of man you'd find out here. But you don't need to be afraid of me. I want a partner, not a servant, and I want you to feel safe always." And his words broke something in her, a wall she had built to protect herself from disappointment, and she whispered, "I thought you'd be cruel." And he answered with a faint smile, "Darlin', life out here is hard enough. No man with any sense should make it harder on the woman who shares it with him." And he reached out not to grab or claim, but to offer his hand, palm open, patient, waiting until she placed hers in his, and when she did, warmth spread up her arm and into her chest. And they walked together toward his waiting horse and wagon, the dusty road stretching out like the beginning of something new. And as he helped her into the seat, careful and respectful, she thought about the letters she had written in loneliness, about the fear she had carried every mile on the train,